So we have a question here. I got my cold wallet ready, but I don't know how to go about dealing with the seed or passphrase. I know it should be stored in metal, somewhere safe, fireproof, etc. So the seed phrase and the passphrase are two different things. So the seed phrase is the 12 words, which controls your wallet. And then the passphrase can be anywhere from 1 to, I think, 100 characters of letters, numbers, or symbols, or space. Excuse me. And um, so there's different ways of going about how to back up both of these. So let's start with the seed phrase. So a lot of newcomers will try and create a very complicated system of backing up their 12 or 24 seed words. They might try something crazy where they take 12 words and split into groups of 3 or groups of 4. They give one to their friend, one to their mom, the other one they create a substitution cipher. And then when they actually need this backup and they try and go and re-import their wallet, they forgot how to do it and they've essentially locked themselves out of their Bitcoin. The best solution is you want to keep it simple. Keep it as simple as possible, and that will give you the best security for your Bitcoin wallet. So for the seed phrase, how do you back it up? This is how I would recommend backing up a seed phrase. One is that you write it down on a piece of paper with, I think, might check me on this, but I think a graphite pencil, because ink will fade, so you don't want to use a pen. Graphite pencil, write it down on a piece of paper, and then you can laminate the piece of paper. And then this paper copy you can keep on your person. You bring this around with you as you travel, as you go somewhere if you need it. And that's one backup. And then on top of that, you have an additional 2 to 3 metal backups. So what is a metal backup? A metal backup is the 12 seed words that are physically stamped into a sheet of metal or something metal. If you look online, a lot of these metal stamping kits for Bitcoin, they are kind of expensive. They're like over $100, and yeah, that's really expensive to me. You can a really popular alternative is to stamp the seed phrase into metal washers. So washers are dirt cheap. You can go to any hardware store and they cost a few pennies or a few cents. But what you need in addition to that is the stamping kit, the metal stamping kit. So a metal stamping kit is a little bit cheaper than buying an actual Bitcoin seed phrase metal stamping kit. So you can get one off Amazon for about $60, and it comes with a hammer. It comes with the letters that you can punch into the metal, and $60 is still kind of expensive in my opinion. But you could do this. I'm just saying you can buy this metal stamping kit, make your backup, and then return it. I mean, Amazon accepts returns, right? So or you could keep it and you can be a really popular friend in your social circle, and you can help others, let them use it and create their own metal backups, and all they have to do is just buy washers or whatever. So that's what you should do for metal backups. You should buy some washers from a hardware store, get a metal stamping kit off of Amazon. If you don't want to buy it off Amazon, you could probably get it from some, I don't even know what kind of store would sell that. I think it's called Michael's. It's like a arts and crafts store. And then you take that and you stamp the first 4 letters of each seed word into a washer. And you need to also stamp the number that word is, because the order of the words matters for a Bitcoin seed phrase. And you only need to stamp the first 4 letters, because the first 4 letters for every word on the seed word list is unique. The seed words, they come from a list called the BIP 39 word list, which are, I think, 2,039 words, I believe. And every word has a unique first 4 letters. So you get your washer, stamp in 4 letters, stamp in the number of that word, set it aside. That's one word. Repeat that for all 12 words. At the end, you have 12 washers, and, or excuse me, at the end, you have 12 washers stamped with your seed phrase. And then now what do you do with these washers? What you can do with them is um, sorry, I got something on my take the washers, and also from the home department store or the hardware store, you can get a long bolt. So then you take your washers and you secure them on the bolt, and then you can lock the bolt with a nut. So now you have this very stable, very secure, it's not loose and rattling little metal thing that is like, I mean, it's like maybe an inch long or something, or an inch and a half. Fit it in your pocket, and it contains your 12 seed words. Um, if somebody ever comes across them somehow and they don't know what Bitcoin is, they're not going to know what it is. Also, yeah, they wouldn't know what it is because, well, yeah, it wouldn't be. They would have no idea what they're looking at. But also, it's only the first 4 letters of each word, so they can't really. They don't know what the first 4 letters are or what it indicates. So that compromises, or excuse me, that is your one metal backup. Okay, the washers. So now you want to create 2 to 3 of those. Okay, they're all the same, just 2 to 3 copies. And then what do? Then you take each of those metal backups and you distribute them to different geographical locations. Give one to your uncle, one to your friend or close family member. Maybe keep one at your house so you have the paper backup and your metal backup. It's up to you. If you have another property, you can keep it at the property. If you're really risky and paranoid, you can bury it outside, underground somewhere, at a location that you'll know where it is. But what if there's an earthquake or something and it moves? And just throwing some ideas out there. Yeah, so that's a metal backup, and that's all you need. That's all you need. So that's all you need to back up the seed phrase. So the passphrase is different. The passphrase you can just back up into something like a password manager. Um, the passphrase alone can't do anything to your wallet. If anybody ever were to hack the password manager, or the password manager you got locked out of or something, or sorry, not if you got locked out, but if they were ever exposed somehow because they're being stored online, it wouldn't do anything. First of all, no, looking at the seed phrase, because it's not a list of like 12 words like a seed, or sorry, looking at the passphrase, it's not like looking at a seed phrase. A passphrase can be just the letter F. It can be your dog's name. It can be the lyrics to a song, right? It can be any string of characters, but a seed phrase is very identifiable as to what it is. Anybody who knows a little bit about Bitcoin could probably be able to identify a seed phrase. So let's say the password manager's database gets hacked and someone sees a secured note in your account that says, I love my dog, Toby, he's the best," and say that's your passphrase. Nobody will know that that's a passphrase that needs to be applied to a specific 12 seed words to a Bitcoin wallet. They won't even know they won't have no idea what that is. So that's why it's safe to secure your passphrase in an online fashion, in a digital fashion, like in a password manager. And that's it. That is how you back up. That's all you need. You don't need to do multi-sig. You don't need 2 of 3 multi-sig where you get 3 backups or 3 seed phrases and 3 passphrases. That's just going to be a lot of mental stress, and you don't need it. You can achieve just as good a result, if not better, using the backup system that I just described, using single sig with a very simple backup system, nothing crazy, and then backing up the passphrase. So 2 to 3 metal backups, 1 paper backup, and then your passphrase stored in somewhere secure, like a password manager. So that's how you get started. Of course, you can modify this as you will, but that's like what I would call or consider the golden standard for how to back up your seed and passphrase.